If you want to grow your business, then you need to pay attention to this number here. In fact, paying attention to this number here is critical for your survival. This number is actually 5.4, and it comes from the Corporate Executive Board. They did some fantastic research. Corporate Executive Board, by the way, is the organisation that wrote the Challenger sale, which has of course taken the world by storm. But this research is not about the sellers, this research is about the buyers. And what they've established is that on average in the decision-making group there's 5.4 people that you have to get to say yes before they're going to buy your services. By the way, excuse my dodgy looking finger, luckily it doesn't stop me having conversations, which is exactly what you need to do. So imagine this is your 5.4 people. Let's call them 6 people that you have to influence. First of all, which one do you go for first? Well, the interesting thing about CEB's research is it's not necessarily the most senior person, which traditionally every salesperson has thought up until now. But in fact, it's the person in there that is most motivated, that they call it a go-getter, the one that wants to motivate change in their organisation. So you've got to aim for that person. And typically what happens now, well, salespeople will talk to anyone typically in the organisation who will talk to them, and they'll go to them with a message about their solution and all the benefits of their solution. And if it's a very strong proposition and this person happens to have a problem that you've uncovered through questioning, then perhaps that person there will share that message or your benefits with someone else in the group. And maybe if you're very lucky, they'll share it with someone else. But if they don't share it with all of these people, or if you don't get to all of these people, then you've no chance of closing that deal. And if you're trying to get to each one of these people individually, then the time involved in trying to close that deal is going to take a long time. So you're going to have long sales cycles. Another approach is, instead of just talking to anyone, you try and find that person that wants to motivate change in the organisation. A go-getter, as Corporate Executive Board call them. And you don't go to them with some sort of value proposition. You don't go to them with benefits. You go to them with a story. A very special story. We call it a cause to act story. And in that story is some insight. And that insight shows that person that the way they're solving their problems right now is no longer safe. And it's no longer safe because the world has changed. Perhaps it was safe when they decided to solve the problems in the way that they're doing it, when they made that decision perhaps a year ago, but since that decision was made, the world has changed and it's no longer safe. And that story there, that cause to act story, is the insight that, again, Corporate Executive Boards say is so important to challenge your customer. So we're not saying just go with some insight, we're saying go with a story, a sticky story that's easy to share. And if you get that story into this person's head, they're much more likely to use that story themselves to share that story amongst all the people in that decision-making group. And typically they'll share that story quickly. Or even better, or as well, you could put that story in a little video like this, and then it's very easy for that person just to forward a link to that video, and the story, the personalized story, is shared for them. So the message to you is, if you want to influence these 5.4 people quickly, first of all, create a cause to act story. Secondly, find the go-getter in the group and share that story with them. Thanks very much. Good luck.